What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ballhawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
All right, good morning. Greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for joining us here today, Sunday morning show edition of Lions Talk Live. And hey, we've made it through the first week of camp. We've got some expectations, some news and notes, some things we're going to go ahead and dive on into with Lions Talk Live and just kind of do this, treat this show, today's episode, as a little bit of a recap on all the news and notes from the prior week. Hey, a little bit of news that came out yesterday. Tom Pelissero from the NFL and NFL Networks interviewed MCDC, sat down. MCDC gave him some inside views and thoughts and opinions on camp, how it's going so far, some updates on some different players. So we're going to get that overhead to you. We were going to have a guest scheduled for today, but I messed up some stuff with recording it yesterday to help them out with their schedule. And, the video works, but it's real choppy. It's kind of delayed in some parts, a little broken up in other parts. I was like, we'll just reschedule that one. So today's episode might only go 30 to 45 minutes. We'll see. We'll be somewhere in that vicinity, and then I'll have to reschedule Krista Robertson, reshoot the video, but just because she can't do mornings, especially on Sundays, because of religious things supporting her church, etc. All right, let's get this one going, just because we got to get through stuff. But hey, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so, making that push to 7,100 subs, and we're about, 30 subs away from it, right around there. Also, if you would be ever so kind, it's free of charge, takes half a second of time. Hit the thumbs up button. As you guys know, helps the channel out a lot. Try to get every show to 200 to 300 thumbs up or likes. Last but not least, outside of being a YouTuber, a coach, and a scout, I am a realtor. So if you're considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, you see the number on the screen, go ahead and give me a call, shoot me a text. I'll do whatever you want. Just get a hold of me and we'll talk, have a brief conversation, see what I can do to save you some time, some money, and make the process of buying property a whole lot easier. All right, welcome to Lions Talk Live. As you guys know, we're going to start off the main, we'll get to 5 headlines now, and then we'll get into the main topic of the day. So without further ado, let's get into 5 headlines now. All right, 5 headlines now coming out of the Detroit area for the Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell discusses Lions' progress through the first 4 days of camp. Back together weekend. This is from NFL.com. Hey, you want to see the video of Tom Pelissero interviewing MCDC, asking him the questions, getting him to just kind of open up about camp, what he's seen, what he likes about the team, where the team's going, in his opinion, this season. Go ahead and check out the video. It's, maybe like a 5-minute video or something. I had thought about airing portions of it, but I can tell you this. I can air just about anybody on out there's video information except the NFL. NFL, apparently, if you even put like 10, 15 seconds of a video that's directly from their sites, yeah, that's a no-fly zone as far as they're concerned. So I thought better of it and just said, hey, we'll leave that off. All right, Lions fans enjoying new training camp enhancements, and players have noticed. You can see this from multiple different outlets, but WXYZ in Detroit has got some videos up there. You want to see people being interviewed, fans being interviewed, talking about the new facilities, talk about the interactions there at training camp, what the fans are seeing, and how they are viewing more and more training camp as an event, something to take in. Go ahead and check that out. All right, boxing champ Clarisse Shields stopped by Detroit Lions camp, USA Today. This is from Kim Mitchell. Just, hey, you want a story about more and more celebrities coming over to be around the Detroit Lions, taking in the renaissance of the Detroit franchise. You're going to want to read this story. We all know Hulk Hogan, the WWE pro wrestler, was there this week. You've had other people stopping by. It's rumored that Eminem is going to stop by next week or whatever. So go ahead and check it out. Hey, I'll say this. The Lions are a hot topic. And I think any fan who's even a casual fan of the Detroit Lions or the NFL probably understands that based on how they've been viewed the last few years. Now, coming off last season where they just made a historic push in the playoffs, won the NFC North, all that stuff, there's more and more hype for this team than perhaps at any other time in recent memory. And the fact that Shield stops by camp is probably more evidence of that. All right, Detroit Lions camp observations. Players itching for padded practice after yet another skirmish. This was reported by USA Today, among other outlets, but this is about the third straight day in camp where you heard guys kind of got after it, got into a tussle. And what do you expect? You got the Lions players getting after it. They know what they want to achieve this year. It sounds like everybody's working towards that goal. We've talked for a long time now on the show that this is going to be one of the most difficult final cutdowns to 53-man roster that perhaps any Detroit Lions team has ever had. You just look at the quality of the players across the board, the depth at different positions. And yeah, that final cutdown is going to be a real pain. Somebody from other teams is going to be paying attention to our cuts because I'm going to guess probably 10 to 15 maybe more guys are picked up within 24, 48 hours by other teams. All right, and the last of the 5 headlines now. Healthy Khalif Raymond excited to see Detroit Lions approach the new kickoff rules. Detroit Free Press and Jared Ramsey. Everybody's been talking about the new rules. Everybody's been speculating, hey, you're probably going to have a real growth opportunity for all NFL teams this preseason, early in the regular season. Special teams coordinators are going to be going nuts trying to figure out something, how to use it to their advantage, how to prevent somebody using it against their team. So there's going to be a lot of pluses and minuses for a while, probably while everybody gets acclimated to it. Lions are apparently approaching it with some trial and error. They're going to try to hit some people with some surprise plays out of it. It sounds like if you read the story, there's a lot of opportunity and excitement from the Detroit sidelines, how they might be able to manipulate the new kickoff rules for an advantage for the Lions. We'll have to wait and see what shakes out with that. All right, that concludes 5 headlines. Now let's get to some real brief NFC North news. There's not a whole lot with it being a Sunday morning. A lot of the news came out earlier in the week, but there are a couple tidbits. So let's get into the NFC North news. All right, like I said, probably not a whole lot here, but let's see what we got here. Chicago Bears receivers fight to show they belong during the 7 days of training camp. Everybody gets this offseason. The Bears did as much as they could to improve the team, make it as offensively friendly for Caleb Williams. Try to make sure that this guy isn't the normal rookie quarterback who doesn't have a lot of talent, doesn't have a great offensive line, great receivers, and because of it, they just get ran over. You can see what that's done to a number of quarterbacks over the decades in the NFL. The Bears, though, have gone out and tried to acquire a lot of talent at the wide receiver position, tight end area, etc. And you see because of that, they're in a kind of a similar situation as the Detroit Lions. I'm not saying the receivers are the same. I'm saying they're in the same situation where you got a gluttony of talent and not everybody's going to make the team. So you might want to, if you're a Lions fan, pay attention to this because you know what? We're going to have to defend those guys. All right, Vikings looking for cornerback help after tragedy and injury at the cornerback position. So as we're all probably definitely aware, and thoughts and prayers go out to the Minnesota Vikings. He had one player die tragically just about 2-3 weeks ago in a car accident. And then Blackman, I know I reported on Mekhi Blackman yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago, tore his ACL. So the Minnesota Vikings, most observers are saying they're probably the weakest team in the NFC North. I'm not here to say if they are or aren't going to be. I'm here to say that, yes, their cornerback position has gone through some hard times in the last month. And because of that, they're probably looking to sign somebody or make a trade for somebody. Could it be that they contact, this team or that team about additions? We'll have to wait and see. I'm a Lions reporter, not a Minnesota Vikings reporter, but I do get they've gone through some tough times. All right, and now Green Bay Packers Jordan Love is already being paid as one of the NFL's richest quarterbacks. This is after just starting 18 games. You want somebody who's doing a kind of a, hey, this wasn't a great idea story. on the Green Bay Packers signing Jordan Love to that massive contract. I would say I would kind of agree. Now, I'm not a coach for the Green Bay Packers, nor am I a reporter for the Packers, so I don't watch them as much as anybody else. But I probably would have had a hard time giving a 4-year deal with that much money, especially that much guaranteed, on a guy who's only played 18 games. This could either go really, really right for the Pack, or it could go really, really wrong. Selfishly, as a Lions fan, I hope he falls on his face and they have to hold on to that contract, ride it on the books for years to come. So we'll wait and see, but that will conclude the NFC North news. Now, without further ado, let's get into the main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day, as you guys can see from the thumbnail leading in, one of the biggest surprises of training camp is MCDC gave his thoughts on this. And you know what? When I read this morning, when I was going through some stuff before I went to bed and got stuff ready, I put out a couple flyers, feelers, whatever you want to say, to a couple friends over in the Detroit media. And they all said, they see what MCDC is saying. They agree this player, and it's going to be Levi Onwuzurike, by the way, is playing very well. They also gave a ton of information on him. Some of them were hesitant to say he was the biggest surprise at camp, but what they all seem to concur with is that Onwuzurike, Levi, looks way better this year than he did last year. Some of you guys who have had back surgeries or spine fusions or whatever, I did talk to Mike about this, and I think Kurt Steele mentioned it too. It takes some time to really recover and get acclimated to how your body adjusts to that. With that all being said, here's some of the notes we got for you. Onwuzurike has been a regular in the lineup with the first team defense. Let that sink in. So I get DJ Reader is not getting out on that field probably until like a week or so before the Rams game. But with that being said, who's filling in for him? Levi Onwuzurike. It hasn't been Broderick Martin, even though Broderick Martin apparently is doing well. But Levi Onwuzurike has been out there. And here's the other part I want to throw at you guys. The Lions have been playing him at edge and defensive tackle. He's been in the mix for a few flare-ups in camp where guys were getting after at each other, getting into each other's faces, and talking about each other's mamas. They're all saying this too. The intensity is there with Levi. They felt like last year and the year before, it was kind of hesitant with some stuff. I'm sure that was in correlation to his back injury and some of the pain going with it. That doesn't seem to be the case this offseason, this training camp. Levi Onwuzurike seems to be fully healthy, or as healthy as he's ever going to be, and he seems to be a impactful force. We've talked about in the show before, if you look at his numbers last year, how he does on win rates and things of that sort, he's near the top of the Detroit Lions in a lot of different categories. The difference is Levi's amount of snaps are very, very low. So the team was clearly monitoring him, protecting him, not trying to put too much on him. This year, though, if he holds up, the Lions might finally get something out of this guy that they thought they were going to get when they drafted him. And I'm not chastising the guy. I'm not criticizing him. I think we all get the reason why he probably hasn't lived up to expectation is because of that back. But if that back's healthy now, he might just indeed help take this team to a whole new level. The other person they talked a lot about was Josh Pascal. I was going to put him in the thumbnail, but I was like, if Levi, from what everybody seems to be on track with saying, is the biggest surprise, then Josh Pascal might not be number 2, but he's right up there. A lot of people making mentions about him. He's quietly doing what's asked of him, picking up some pressures, setting the edge. Nothing too flashy, but he's been very, very solid. That's a direct quote from one particular person. Greg Reynolds was also mentioned a lot. He understands he's fighting for a roster spot. He understands that the top 2 guys probably aren't being supplanted, and that's Montgomery and then Gibbs. Vaki also sounds like he's doing incredibly well. They're being nondescript or non-disclosure in regards to how anybody's being used on the kickoff rules just yet, even though the general public can see certain portions of it. A lot of the writers haven't made too much mention of it, but Vaki seems to be a lock for the number 3 running back. That means Reynolds is in a battle with Knight and a bunch of other guys to try to get that 4th spot. I don't see the Lions holding 5 running backs, but if they do, hey, good for someone else. Craig Reynolds, it sounds like he's putting out a lot of flash, a lot of buzz. doing a lot of things that you would expect Craig Reynolds to do. So he is trying to keep his spot. Here's another note for you guys. The backup quarterback position. It sounds like Hendon Hooker is doing a pretty good job. But with that also being said, Sutfield is getting some notes for looking sharp in training camp, being on time, coming in, being physical. And don't ask me about that. I don't know if that just means he's gunning the ball around pretty hard or what. But at the end of the day, he looks like a long shot to overtake Hooker, but he's looking way better than most of the people in observance would have ever expected. So maybe the Detroit Lions and the coaching staff, along with the general manager, said, we don't need to go out and get a veteran quarterback in case Hendon Hooker struggles, because Nate Sudfeld is way ahead of things as far as they're concerned. So that could be a good note for us, just because, hey, one less thing you got to worry about. You already got two quarterbacks that can back up Goff. One of them a veteran. One of them, you talk about just a massive human being in Hendon Hooker for the quarterback spot. I mean, he's a big dude, and he can motor, and he's got an arm. He's got a lot of the tools that nobody can teach. Now he just needs to see if he can get acclimated to the Detroit game, or excuse me, the pro game. We've already talked about Emmanuel Mosley this week, although there was more news on him yesterday. Just, hey, curious to see where he would end up being. But they've got him playing at the nickel back. They've got him playing outside. They got him playing, next to Davis. So the good thing is him, Robertson are all doing pretty well. Everybody's pretty happy with the progression Emmanuel Mosley has made in his recovery process. They want to keep seeing him continue to emerge, keep getting more faith back in the knee, or knees, I guess, in his case, and keep working his way into more and more reps. Right now, though, if you had to ask, I did ask a couple of the guys watching. They all said Emmanuel Mosley might just end up starting, him and Robertson. They both made notes of that. Let's see if any other notes I got here for you guys. Let's scroll through them. Gibbs and Davenport, Marcus Davenport, received their first snaps in any kind of scrimmages yesterday. Gibbs had been out for a little bit with a tweak. They undisclosed what it was. Davenport, we already know he's been coming back from injury, but the fact they both got on the field in 11-11 situations yesterday, real good news. Levi Onwuzurike, one other note as I scroll through the notes I took from the different conversations, there were no holds barred on him. They just let him go. So that's the first time in training camp anybody has done that during his time with the Detroit Lions. So he might indeed just be real healthy. He might end up becoming that terror that they thought they were going to get when they drafted him. Remember, he was projected to be a first-round pick, but then the back injury happened. Most NFL teams dropped him down off their board or down on the list. Lions felt like the risk to reward was good where they got him. They took him, and you know what? He might end up just being there now. So, and what do you know? In year, whatever it is for him, number 3 or 4, something like that. I don't remember off the top of my noggin. All right, let's go ahead and get over to the comment section, see what you guys got to say. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on here. One of the notes here, just so I don't forget it, because I know a few people have been asking about the wide receiver position, who's making plays and whatever. Darius Fountain, he's been making plays and getting more and more opportunities with the first team offense. When you're trusted by Ben Johnson to go into the lineup next to Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, you're doing something right. He's trending towards a roster spot if the Lions can make the numbers work and he can contribute on special teams. I think that's the big thing, the end of that sentence there with him on special teams, because we all know, just like with the linebacker we picked up yesterday, the Lions are putting a lot of faith, a lot of priority into special teams to control the kickoff returns, but also to try to aid with their own returns. So food for thought as we get closer and closer to having to make the choices that matter in regards to the Lions. All right, let's head on over to you guys in the comment section and see what the Duke crew has to say this morning. All right, let's see, starting us off, JDC, good morning all, back at you. Michael, greetings, salutations, coach and Duke crew, exclamation points, Super Bowl or bust, one pride, woo, woo, and good morning to you too, hopefully have a good one, Michael. Bergs, good morning, Duke crew and coach, one Sunday closer, woo, and 100%, Bergs, you are right, we are getting closer and closer. It's hard to believe that it's going to be August next week, and hey, at that point, we've only got like 5 weeks until the regular season. Bo, good morning, Duke crew. Sure do like surprises. I see Super Bowl. Woo! And yeah, Levi Onwuzurike, if he really does end up making that jump forward, that back is firm, it's healthy, no issues with it, this guy could be a monster win for the Detroit Lions. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Who's ready for the defense to lead us this season? I think a lot of fans are. And, to be fair, it's nothing against the offense. I think we all enjoy watching the offense go up and down the field, but we're also probably tired of watching the defense struggle so much. And a lot of reasons why. Let's hope they get it all together, gel this year. Mike the Marine Gunny, howdy, Dan and Duke Crew. Can I get a woo? There you go, Gunny. Hopefully, yes, you can get a woo. And here you go. Never gets old. All right, Clark. Woo! Morning, all. Anyone else watch some football yesterday? I know a lot of people did. Question mark. I listened to MCDC talk about the team's first week. It all sounded good. So far out of camp, other than Badgley getting, I hope he heals up. But other than that, I think it's not all sounded pretty positive so far. Miles Marker, what do you got? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, watching the Olympics gymnasts. Wow. Yeah, talk about people that are bend better than I ever will and be able to move around like that. Yeah, good for them, man. I'd say JDC, woo! There you go. Mike the Marine, thumbing up. Trumps, woo! There we go. Bo, hoorah, hoorah, woo! All the above. And good morning. Big Eddie, greetings to salutations. Coach, is Hooker the next Steeman Willie Beeman? Maybe. He does have a powerful arm. He does have some ability to run. We'll have to see how he progresses. I can't wait to see him in preseason games. I want to see how much he does progress. Is that still you? Summer Brat. Woo! There you go. Let's see. Brent, good morning. Dan, the Duke Crew. Go Lions. Oh, yeah. All the above. And good morning, Brett. Bo, give us that. Hoorah, Brett. There you are, right? Mr. Nico, good morning, coach and crew. I love we have so much incredible talent fighting for starting spots. Our weakness, secondary, looks like a brick house, and we're not afraid of no big bad wolf. Let's flipping go 100%. Yeah, I think it's going to be beating Detroit should be tough this year unless we just go and make our own errors, make mistakes, whatever. Hey, and it's going to happen at some point during the season. You're not going to play your best ball. But I think, from a talent standpoint and a depth standpoint, I think you're spot on, Mr. Nico. This team, probably not one anybody's lining up wanting to play. Darcy, good morning, Duke Crew! Exclamation point. This team sounds like it might just enter week 1 hitting on all cylinders. Can't wait to see the season unfold for us. Yeah, I think we've talked about it for a long time on the show, whether it's me or other people or you guys. We've all been talking, man. This might be a season you want to record as many of the games as possible or, whatever you want to do, DVR them or record them out of your computer. Because you know what? I think it's going to be a pretty special season for the Lions. See, Brent, been hearing a lot about this Fountain kid. Hey, funny you should mention that. What are his chances of making the 53? I think it's going up exponentially with some of his emergence. Plus, you look at his size, his speed, his skill sets, and the fact he can play special teams. Yeah, I'd say, man, you're going to have some really good players get cut by the Lions this year. And if he's one of them, I don't think he's going to be employed very long. I think I didn't originally have him making the 53, but I'll say this. You're hearing more and more about him than you are about Green. And could it be they keep Green? Could it be, okay, let's see, St. Brown, Jamison, Khalif, Donovan Peoples-Jones. So that's your probably core 4. After that, I think it's all Green could be 5. Could you keep a 6 and keep Fountain? Sure, that's also a possibility. Keeping 6, though, I think is extreme. You got to take away from somewhere else. But, hey, let the coaches make those choices. All right, Joseph, good morning, Coach D and the Duke Crew. Ready for that Super Bowl run. Oh, yeah. Woo! And one pride, baby. Let's go. Now preach, Brother Dan. Well, hey, come up to the house of the Duke Crew, and let's have a morning ceremony about the Detroit Lions. And that's what I think we're doing. I think, hey, we've got the no-fly zone. We got the Silver Rush. We got the, I don't even know what you want to say, the power through offense or whatever. I don't know. But this team, I think it's going to be pretty special this year. Both air traffic control is getting going. It's a whole new ball game for this defense. I agree. I think, man, I cannot wait to watch Blitzburg out of this team. Maybe I'm wrong with AG. Maybe he just drops back half the time, plays standard D. I think he's going to be incredibly aggressive with the calls. See, Trey, what's good, all? Question mark. Yes, sir. Fountain at 6'2" and can move right. Just help out if he makes the team. Yeah. I think he can help out a lot. And again, because of his special teams importance too, that's another factor that I think aids him significantly. Matthew Green, salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. Good morning to you too, sir. I haven't done that before. I played them both, so I said, why not? Brent, can't wait to see who shines on the pad, who shines when the pads are on, especially in the trenches. Yeah, you're going to have some pretty good battles. And I know if you guys have watched any of the information the Lions put out over the years, Penei Sewell and Hutchinson talk about it a lot, especially when, when they put out the top 40, or 41 through whatever it was, 50 a couple days ago about the NFL top 100. And when it got to Hutch, spoiler, Hutchinson, Jared Goff are right next to each other. I want to say 40, 45, and 46 or something like that. But Penei Sewell talks about how much Hutchinson makes him better, how much, and then Hutchinson talks about how much Penei makes him better. So I think there's a lot of truth to that. You think about how much those two guys are helping to mold each other to be better because they're both pretty dang good. And they're both having to go against each other all the time. That's why I don't remember who made it, the comment in the section yesterday. But we were talking about Jameson Williams, St. Brown, helping some of these younger defensive backs in Detroit grow because they have to go against them every day. I think there's a lot of truth to that. Matthew, good morning, Bird Time, 100%. France kicking back this evening and having a few beers while watching the show. Good evening, everyone. Back at you. Hopefully having some relaxing evening. Let's see. Bo, Monday is going to be interesting. Pads on? Yes. Pads will be coming on next week. And, hey, that's when the intensity in practice will go up another level. Hofbrau, France, all right, says Brent. Joseph, I see the Duke crew is getting larger every day now. Woo! That's awesome, Coach. Hey, the season's getting closer, so usually, like, there were times last year we would have some shows, and I want to say it didn't happen often, but there were times we'd have like 1,000 or more people watching live. Doesn't mean everybody commented either, but I think the closer we get to the season and then get in the season, off season, it seems like we stay between 300 and 600 people watching live. Regular season, I'm guessing it will be more than that just because more people are engaged. There's a good number of fans that watch all year long. There are some people that just only watch during the season. So, but thank you either way for that, Joseph. Buddy, what do you got? Good morning, everyone. Woo! And good morning to you, buddy. Hopefully everything in Paw is going well this morning. Let's see, France. Let's see, Bo, France, the man in Germany. There you go. There you go. See, Robert, greetings and salutations. Back at you. Johnny V, good morning. Exclamation point. Greetings and salutations. The D line will be interesting this preseason, but we're going to be Motor City Maulers. Yes, that is correct. I think we will be mauling many a team this year. And you know what? Good for us, man. Take advantage of it. Go out there, beat up on some other teams. I'm all for it, man. Let's see, Steve. Good morning to Coach Dan and the new crew. Back at you, Steve. Hopefully you have an outstanding morning. Berg time. Good morning, Matt. Frank the Tank. Good morning, Duke crew. Woo, woo. Go Lions. Good morning, Frank. And hopefully you're having a woo-tastic morning. Berg time. Good morning, Joseph. Lions fan number one. Good morning, gang. The more I read about other teams and then look at what we have, I am becoming more convinced this could be the year. I mean, you got other teams that are dealing with holdout situations, player unrest, injuries. Hey, that's unavoidable for any NFL team. But the fact that we don't have the first part, the stuff we can control with unhappy people holding out or whatever, I think it just keeps the locker room cleaner, keeps the presence cleaner, makes it easier for everyone to focus. And then, yeah, like you were saying, the talent, yeah, we're so deep, it's crazy. France, having a cold one for you, Bo. Everyone around here was watching and cheering on Germany basketball team, the German basketball team versus Japan. Yeah, that's right. The Olympics are going on, so you'll have a lot of that going on. I did not see any of the basketball scores last night. We went out and did a non-sports night, Jen and I, and yes, I did not keep up. I'd say Voltron Forest Greens, salutations, Duke Crew gang, exclamation point. Let's not drop a North game this year. Man, you can do that because the North is going to be pretty dang tough. If you go undefeated, this team is real legit then. I'd say Bo, ale or a lager, France, all right. Let's see, Matthew, I am hearing we have more than just Fountain showing up in the wide receiver room. Yeah, everybody's in a battle. Everybody gets it. And that's one of the best parts, I think, of this year's team. There's no spot on the team that says, just, hey, somebody's just going to walk into a starting spot. Maybe you could say that for Goff, but that's about it. The running back room, the wide receiver room, tight end room, I mean, go throughout the entire team. Everybody knows to make the team, you're going to have to grind, and then you got to grind to even a higher level just to get the snaps. Thomas, good morning. Good Sunday morning, everyone. Had to be the most anticipated year of my life as a 53-year-old Lions fan. Hey, enjoy it, man, because I think this is going to be a real special season. I can't wait to see how this season unfolds. Let's see, Bo, we have a fountain of youth going on. I see what you did there. Let's see, Joseph. One more week. Yeah, can y'all smell what the Lions and the Dew Crew is cooking? Woo! We was just a few mistakes away from winning it all. It's now like we couldn't have won it. Hey, we were close last year. I think everybody gets it. Could it have absolutely gone different? I think you're 100% right, Joseph. It could have gone different. We could have been in the Super Bowl. Maybe we could have won the Super Bowl. Here's what it is. This is where we're at now. We're incredibly young, incredibly talented, deep, and we got a lot of cap space available. That's to me, the most insane part of it all. See, Dave, Emmanuel Mosley, Betts, and Jack Campbell. Hey, 3 guys on the march up. Yeah, news on the march right there. See, Joseph, then that would have felt like a lot different. Yeah, can you imagine if we would have won it and came into the season with all this talent? The good thing is the team's hungry. They want to get back there. The coaches want to get back there. I think we're going to get back there. See, So Smoke, Coach Dan, in your view, how good can both of our lines be this year? Question mark. I get the secondary should be much improved, but if that D line can't get home, it won't matter. No, you're 100% right. At some point, you got to put pressure on people, and you got to get them to throw the ball. You can't just let receivers or tight ends run open all the time. I would say, I'll put it this way. I thought our defensive line, like on a scale from 1 to 10, I'll say it was, a 6 last year. I think it could be closer to an 8 or a 9 this year. Now, a lot of that potential comes down to whoever you have on the opposite side of Hutch, and they've got to be able to help flush the pocket. I think our pressure is going to be so much better because we're going to be able to collapse the pocket with, Lee McNeil, DJ Reader, Levi Onwuzurike, Broderick Martin. I mean, you get it. There's a lot of guys that have some potential that push the pocket forward, make it so quarterbacks can't run and break the pressure too. Now, if you can, finish that up with Hutchinson having another good year and whoever on the other side getting a lot of wins, now I think you got something. Real quick, just because I thought about doing a video on James Houston, there's a lot of news coming out of Lions training camp that he's doing just fine as far as rushing the quarterback. It sounds like part of the issue that Houston's having is they want to play him more as a linebacker where they can drop him into coverage, just do a lot of things that I think as much as I love the guy, I'll be the first to admit it's not his strength. He's not dropping into coverage. He's not the greatest in run support, setting the edge. But what he is absolutely great at is rushing the quarterback. So we'll see what ultimately happens with James Houston. I just think, man, guys that can get to the quarterback are so rare in the NFL. I'm still, to this day, going to say this. He'd be the starting end for me, opposite Hutch. And then, I'd do a couple things to help mitigate his weaknesses with the rest of the team. All right, see, Johnny, Daz, boy, you're going to kill me with that one. But, France, I'll just go with yes. Sorry about that, Johnny. Amy, good morning. Good Sunday morning to you, Dan, and the Dew Crew, ! Good evening, France. Hope everyone is having a super day evening pretty soon. Kickoff, go Lions. Woo! And all the above there. Amy. France, Bell's Beer. Hey, that's from Kalamazoo, Michigan, right where I'm at. So, yeah, I've been there a few times. I'd say, Johnny V, if we go 6 receivers, I see Fountain making the team, maybe even 5th. Could be. I mean, hey, reports are he's doing pretty dang well. I'd say, Captain America, what do you got? Good morning, all. The captain is reporting. Good to see you in the show, as always, my friend. See, Joseph, so, Coach, who do you think, with all the coaches we have right now in GM, and, of course, under the ownership of Sheila, if everyone stays for another 3 years, do you think we will stay contenders for the Super Bowl? If everybody stays, absolutely. As well as we draft, develop the offensive and defensive systems. I'm giving AG, I get some people have not been happy with them, but I will also say this. If you don't have a lot of talent to work with, it's hard to produce at any level, let alone the professional level. So I think this year is going to be the real tell with AG. I got faith in him. If we can, though, Joseph, keep everybody, we'll be a Super Bowl contender year in and year out unless something unforeseen happens. That's my opinion, of course. Quentin, greetings, salutations. Y'all half asleep today, so I'm just kicking back and watching. We'll enjoy the show, and hey, if you got to get a good nap in, man, go for it. Do it after the show, though. Just kidding. Joseph, do you think we'll build a dynasty? I think we are building a dynasty. Now, to become a dynasty, though, you got to win championships. So last year or this year or next year, you got to get some wins up there. You got to get some trophies up there. Now you can get into that conversation. Could this be a dynasty in the making if you win one? Yes, it could be. Until then, you're just going to be a really good franchise like, the 49ers or Philly or some of the teams or Buffalo. Hey, they've been real good. They just haven't got it done. See, Johnny, when do practice with New York Giants? Tuesday? I think it does begin Tuesday or early next week. Yes. See, Bo, guys that fit the grit will be here a while. Yes, if you fit the mantra of the team, the mentality of the front office and the coaching staff, you'll have a good shot at making it. How about that? Johnny B, a week from Tuesday, I should say. Yeah. I knew you were going with that. Yeah. Johnny B, no, if the grit fits, wear it in Detroit. Yes, keep it gritty. Keep it real gritty here in Detroit. Gunny, could the new signing of Malik Jefferson indicate another option at Sam cover linebacker or more competition? I mean, it's a fair question, Gunny. I just think, in my opinion, Jefferson's here just for a camp body and because he can contribute on special teams. I mean, maybe there's more to it than that. Maybe the guy, revitalizes his career and does something more. But from what I've seen of him, what I know of him, which, to be fair, is limited, I think he's more here for a special teams spot and a roster spot in that regard. I just think we're so stacked at linebacker nowadays when you figure that Davenport, Houston, Derek Barnes, Rodrigo, Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell. Not all those guys are going to make it. Somebody's going to be on the outside. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Motown, we'll say, greetings, salutations, Coach Duke Crew, back at you. Johnny B, Bo, if the grit fits, wear it in Detroit. Woo! I'll go with that. Brent Skippers, woo! Cracks me up every time I hear it. Yeah, it is a very unique one. And trying to work on getting a couple of the other guys on the show. And like I've told you guys, I probably should have, it's a fault of my own, reached out and tried to get more of those guys before, like in, June or something like that. But 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago or something like that, I worked on getting them here. A couple of them, obviously, Skip and Iffy were able to do it. I know I worked on St. Brown, getting him on. And the hard part is just everybody's schedule. And then, some of the stuff, as you guys see, I have to clip or whatever because I have to be careful with that I'm not going over the top with stuff. But I know Scott Daly's trying to work on one. He said when he gets time. Craig Reynolds. I think Craig Reynolds wants to see if he makes the team before he agrees to do any more promoting of the Detroit Lions. Who was somebody else? I tried to get James Houston. I filled out a request for James Houston. I have not heard back from his representation as of yet. All right, Patrick. I know one thing JMO has impressed me. It sounds like he's impressing a lot of people. I've been keeping an eye on him, and he is using his hands to catch the ball, and his route running is way crisper. Yeah, I agree, especially with that last part there, Patrick. You watch his foot placement, his intentional foot placement when he wants to get in and out of routes. I know we talked about it last year. You could see growth and development, but if you watch a lot of the videos or, whatever you want to say, the clips from stuff, you watch how he now uses his feet to help guide his hips, and his hips now correlate in using his elbows to, move kinetic energy around to help him get in and out of routes. Yeah, it's all improved exponentially. I agree. Let's see, Detroit Sports Talk. I love Levi, man. I hope he gets his opportunity. I think he's going to, man. I think he's going to without any question. Phil, good morning. Good morning, Phil. I see you're working on the guitar. Let's see, Dr. Detroit, 7,100, baby. Yeah, we're getting dang close. It's been a good week for that. We're actually, to be honest, the last 2 or 3 weeks for subs, yeah, it's growing. But again, what's getting closer? The start of the season. So that kind of correlates. All right, Detroit Sports Talk, good morning. Back at you. Johnny V, like the show. Yes, if you got a free second of time, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. So as you guys know, it helps the channel out a lot. All right, Dr. Detroit, Verlin, all right. Verlin, all right. Phil, J-Mo has the thinnest legs I have ever seen. I hope he can stay healthy. Yeah, he probably doesn't want to take any shots on the knees or legs, but you know what? That kid can fly. All right, Amy, please give Dan and the channel a thumbs up. Woo! Go Lions Talk Live, 100%, Amy, and hopefully having a great morning. See, Bo, thumbs up, everybody. All right, the Detroit Sports Talk, 10 sacks by Levi this year. Woo! If he does that, man, yeah, he's had a monster season. We'll go with that. I'm going to hold you to that, Detroit Sports. All right, Brent, thumbing up. Brent, Levi should be in the rotation. Yeah, he's, man, apparently you get him and Broderick Martin. I mean, that's a pretty nice rotation with those guys. And there's other guys to consider as well. But, yeah, the Lions could have a ton of depth on that D-line. Phil, I hear they are tearing down the Renten. That I don't know. I'll have to check on that. Let's see. Trump's M&M is a peso pass. All right. Peso pass. All right. I'll go with that. Phil, even every training camp has fights. Yeah. Guys, you're asking people to play a contact sport, get physical, out in the heat. It's going to happen, and not just at Lions camp, any camp. So yeah, anybody who's ever been to preseason conditioning and training, watched at any level football this time of year, the fights are going to happen. Bo, tussles are not fights. There you go. We'll go with that. Yeah, I don't think that anybody's MMAing it, or at least hope not. See, Detroit Sports, one pride. I'll go with that. Brent, correct, Bo. Johnny V, football is an intense game, but let's take it easy up front. Let's not let anybody get hurt. Yeah. I don't think anybody's going to that level. At least I would hope not. All right, Detroit Sports Talk, Levi to have 10 sacks this season. I'll go with that again. Phil, tussles, fights, semantics. Yes, they're gonna be talking about each other's mamas. All right, Detroit. Woo! I'll go with that. Dennis, good morning, Dan, the Duke Crew. Back at you. Bo, all right, I'll just shake my head and say yes, Bo. All right, Johnny, skirmishes. Amy, Dan, we have to cut our roster down to 53. How many are in the roster now? I think there's about 90 guys altogether. Although I know the guy we just signed from Germany, and I don't remember his name right now, he's roster exempt for the 90. But when we get down to the final 53, he will no longer be exempt. Bo, skirmish, good team, 100%. Donald, what do you got? Good luck getting him a good receiver. All right, we'll work on it. See, Phil, Pack is falling apart. No locker room togetherness. Let's hope they do fall flat on their face and take the Bears and the Vikings with them. Detroit Sports, hopefully Aiden Hutchinson sacks love this year. Woo! And, hey, I think he'll probably get to him a few times. And, hey, hopefully the Lions just get to him a few times. JDC, Buddy Love, and the Cheddars, hope Lions smoke him like a good doobie. All right, I'm hoping they do too. Johnny V, is Green Bay unpacking? Let's hope they pack up and leave. See what I did there? Let's see, Brent, pay. There you go. Keep paying. Find a few more guys to put that money on. See, Detroit Sports Talk, keep in mind we're not in pads. Give credit to Levi. Having a back fusion is no joke. I thought he was going to retire. Shows how much he loves the game. Yeah, I think you're spot on, man. To go through what he's gone through. I have not done it, but talking to everybody who has, what he is doing is nothing short of a miracle, basically. All right, Detroit D, or Dr. Detroit, hopefully it holds up. Yeah, hopefully the back does. They may have to monitor it. Maybe they, instead of giving him 60 or 70% of the snaps every game, maybe they keep him at 50. But 50, for a rotational guy, is still a good amount, especially over the course of the season. Donald can't wait for the pads to come on. Hey, I got good news. You got like 24 hours. See, Bo, Levi looks so good in college. I was really excited we got him. If he can be that guy, oh yeah. And you know what? If he is trending back that way to what everybody saw in college, you're spot on. I mean, he will be a massive win for us. See, Detroit Sports Talk, sounds like Jameson Williams is having an amazing time at camp. Yeah, and I know I talked about the interview with Tom Pelissero and MCDC, but they do talk about Jameson Williams. They do talk about how much he has grown from an athletic standpoint, understanding his principles, his techniques, his craft, but also his personality, how he's maturing as an individual, as a person. I thought when he came in, he seemed very, to be fair, immature, like a very young kid. But that doesn't seem to be the case so much anymore. So he's he's growing up. How about that? See, Rocky M, good morning, all. What are we going to do with all these good players? Never had this issue before and liking it. Woo! Yeah. I mean, bottom line, you're going to watch a lot of guys in preseason games that aren't going to be here come the regular season. It's too bad. It's good for them that they're maybe developing so much here that they can go on and have an employment somewhere else. But yeah, Detroit's going to lose some good guys. Detroit Sports Talk. Woo! Oh yeah, Detroit, hit that like button for Dan. Woo! And we'll go with that. Thank you for that, by the way. Let's see, Donald, we're going to lose a few good players the next few years. Yeah, and I think if you keep drafting well, you keep producing, keep developing, you can't keep everybody. See, Brent, Jeff Risen was saying that Baki still has a ways to go. Slowest burst in the running back room. Yeah, he's going to figure his way out. Having watched him in college, watched him once he got confident, I think he's going to do okay. But most rookies do take some time. See, Detroit Sports Talk, Levi to make the roster, question mark, or even to start. I don't think he'll start, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will, but I do think he'll make the roster if he maintains, holds up, etc. Then I think he will. But the question is then, who doesn't make the roster? I think that's probably the biggest question in camp. Johnny V, yeah, Goff would be a good backup. Well, let's hope he's not. Let's hope he's not. Donald, let's see. I think he may start until Reader gets healthy. Yeah, preseason or something like that. I could see that. But it does sound like Reader is making significant progress quickly. See, Derek Lewis, hey, Coach, isn't Sudfield just a lame duck quarterback? They're not going to cut or trade Hooker, so there's no spot for him on the team. No, I think, in my personal belief, Derek, I think Hooker is going to be the backup quarterback. But the encouraging news is Sudfield has looked pretty good so far in camp. Now, again, this is without pads on. It's the first week. A lot of things can be overblown in a hurry. Do they keep three quarterbacks? I personally don't think so, but who knows? Phil, what is Mosley's age? Boy, I'd have to Scooby-Doo and check that. I want to say he's like 27 or 28, so don't hold me to that, Phil. Detroit, hopefully Davenport can stay healthy this season. We have a good, healthy, and conditioning staff. Yeah, I think they're going to do everything they can, man, because he could produce. He could go back to what he was 2 years ago or so in New Orleans. That'd be huge for us. See, Big Daz, good morning, Coach Dan of the Duke Crew. This may be stupid, but what does MCDC stand for? Motor City Dan Campbell. There you go. I know it has something to do with Dan Campbell. Yeah, Motor City Dan Campbell. All right, Rocky M. Levi looked good at the end of last year, and they say he looks better now. Sounds like a line I would hate to face as a quarterback. Hopefully, we stay healthy. Yeah, let's hope he does. Let's hope the line does, because that was one of the issues last year, is that we had a lot of injuries on that defensive line. Donald, I'd like to see Mosley get reps at safety. Now, that's an idea. That's an idea. Detroit Sports Talk, Phil Mosley is 28 years old. Yeah, I was close. I said 27 or 28. See, Bo, Motor City Dan Campbell, 100%. Motor City Dan Campbell. Burger Time, 28, Phil. See, Johnny V, win the black and blue, then it all comes together. Yeah, he at least got games, at least a game in the playoffs in Detroit. Nine Drinks, good morning, all. Good morning to you, Nine Drinks. Hopefully you're doing well. See, Detroit Sports Talk, if Levi is the real deal this season, do we still trade for Matthew Duran for more depth? I question if we'll trade for Duran either way, but, I mean, you never know. I guess if the price is right, he would add something to it, but he is a little bit older. I get he wants a new contract, a bunch of stuff like that. So wait and see what, I guess, Brad Holmes does. See, Detroit Sports, hit that like button. Thank you for saying that. See, Burg Time, love your channel too, Detroit Sports Talk. Yeah, great channel, great channel. I'll see, Dennis Fountain was a great depth in Indy. Yes, and hopefully he can be here. Woo! There you go, Dennis. Johnny V, iron sharpens iron, training camp news. I agree with that. JDC, smoke the grass, cut the grass, sit the butt. Yes, go Lions. I'll go with all the above. Let's see, Dennis, Lions player of the day, Eric Lynch. All right, we'll go with that. Phil, woo-tastic. There you go. Moon Scar. JDC, I thought it was grass, cash. Yeah, gas, cash, grass, or yes, no one rides for free. All right, we'll go with that. Joseph, good morning, Bird Time. Bird Time. Duke Crew loves Lions Talk Live. Woo! I agree. And you know what? Hey, I think we all love being here every morning, man. Let's see. Dennis, go Lions. Berg Time. Hell yeah, Dennis. JDC, Moonscar Blade, that's a different saying. I believe in that one too. All right, I'll go with that. Doug, there is going to be a solid stream of football at all levels so long into the winter. Trying not to waste the summer that's left here. Let them battle it out, and I'm struggling here. I'll wait and watch. Thank you. Anytime, Doug. Anytime, and I agree. Let them battle it out. See who makes the team. JDC, it's my home/camp saying. All right, I'll go with that. See, Patrick Voltron. Now that's a throwback in animation. Yes, early mid '80s throwback. Yeah, correct. Dan, if the shot comes back to Detroit, you're gonna put your name into that hat. I would. If they got a team back here in Michigan, whether it be Grand Rapids or Detroit, I would. Just because I enjoyed coaching the WNBA. I thought it was fun. It was just a struggle to get attendance, although attendance this year has risen from what I understand. I know Chicago Sky, who I used to coach for, some of the tickets, or I think the average ticket price is now like $450 a ticket, so something like that. Or back when I was there in 7-8 years ago, man, we couldn't give the tickets away. You couldn't get people to come. So I'm glad it's changing for the league and the teams. Phil, Houston, the bubble team, I hope not, man. I think James Houston's going to make it, but I've been wrong before. See, Burger Time, I'm going to enjoy every moment of this season. Lions Nation deserves a Super Bowl, in your opinion. One of the best fan bases in the NFL. Fans always support, good or bad. We love our Lions. One pride. Woo! And Bergs, I think you're spot on, because we all get it. We've been through the bad times for decades now, and the fan base still shows up. So I think you're spot on with that. See, Miles Marker, have you seen the Unfinished Business T-shirt fans award to camp? Thank you, Ben Johnson. I have not seen them, but hey, I want to check them out. August morning, go Lions. Same to you. Hopefully having a good one. Moonscar, just saw a shot of Amon-Ra on NFL Plus. Man, significantly different in the size of his two calf muscles. Right calf, twice the size of his left. All right, I'll have to check that out. Maybe something's going on there, but I'll look into that. Thanks for that, Moonscar. At work time, yes, Mile Marker. I made one before wearing it, since he said it after he decided to stay. It's also my handle name. There you go. Yeah, this is true. Johnny V, rumor has it that grits are breakfast Monday morning. All right, we'll take it. We'll take all the grits we can get. Mile Marker, excellent at Burger Time. JDC, Lions storm front forming in Detroit. Warning, this storm will cause massive damage to opposing defenses and their fans. If you are not a Lions fan, take cover and try to be safe. I like the warning there. See, Ken Green's salutations, Coach Dan and the new crew. This team is stacked with athletic leaders at their respective schools. This team is destined to create a Lions dynasty. Man, I'd be way okay with that, man. If we could win like 5 out of the next 4 Super Bowls, I'll take it. And see what I did there. Let's see, Moonscar. Anyone want to buy a signed Malik Jefferson jersey? I'll sell it at a good price. Laughing out loud. Only worn once during the Rams/Bengals Super Bowl. Comes with a letter of authentication. Whatever I'm saying. I will see. Let me know if anybody wants to buy it. JDC Thunder Lightning Twisters. It's going to be crazy. I'll go with that. Bo, rock you like a hurricane. I see what you're doing there. See, Rocky M, what's the deal with hearing about AG and JMO shouting at each other? Hey, getting after each other, challenging each other, getting the best out of each other. How about that? Joseph, Coach needs a do this morning. Yes, I do. Ain't no lie there. I do need a do this morning. See, Matthew talking about taking 5 out of 7 towers. Good morning. Moving to new Hudson Complex. All right. Yes. So we'll keep on moving. Pablo, Dan ran some suggestions on your broadcast yesterday. Good stuff. Les, woo! Hey, yeah, the woos, they come and go. Some days there's like none. Others there's a lot. So, it is what it is. But thank you for that. Again, I think it was the Ritz that pointed out that the skirmish was good-natured fun with Sewell taking a dramatic swan dive into the pile, and then a cornerback spraying everyone with bottled water. Okay, yeah, it's all good fun then. JDC, probably that would mean Chatter's comments wouldn't get read. Why would we be here then? Woo! Hey, everybody has their own thing. All right, Lions fanatic, Burger Time. There you go, changing it up there. Super Bowl and Lions sound perfect together. Man, I hope it comes true. One pride. Woo! And man, we've unleashed the woos now. JDC, Motor City Dew Crew, 100%. Let's see, Randy Q, what's up, peeps? What's up, Q? How you been? It's been a minute. Glad to see you, man. See, Dr. Detroit, I think they keep their cap space until later in the season. Then who falls out and what they will need then. Yes, it could be. Yeah, they could play it safe that way. Patrick, wow, I remember Eric Lynch, throwback, 100%. Patrick, that's another, yes, it's another throwback. Randy Q, Greens, Sanitations, here we go. Start tomorrow. Yes, we go. The camp goes to a whole new level when the pants come on. So I agree. See, JDC, the morning doves aside, my windows are even here, even yelling. Woo! I am struggling a little bit this morning. I do need to do. I see Pat. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Pat. Moonscar. Aaron Rodgers. Amara. Aaron's Cavs. All right. Sorry. So maybe spell check or spell correct or whatever got you. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I suspect there probably are vastly different at this point in his recovery. Pat. Oh yeah. Hit time this week. Woo! Yeah, they'll be putting on the pads and getting after each other, trying to do a little tenderizing this week. See, Phil, that's what I hear. Ren Ken leaving Hudson site growing. All right. Joseph, everyone have a good day. See y'all tomorrow. We'll go with that. Have a good one. Buddy, let's see, hit that like button. Woo! All right. And JDC, we love you, Brent. We never forget you. We love you, Darren. We'll never forget you. All right. We'll go with all of that. And then mile marker, all Lions. All right, guys, we made it to the comment section. Went a little bit longer than I thought I was going to today, but hey, it is what it is. I have fun with it. Hopefully you guys do too. If there is some sort of breaking news today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. Otherwise, if you would, take a second at times, hit that subscribe if you haven't, or the thumbs up button. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trail.